Hello, hello, hello. I am in the garden again and it is getting cold. I am in my shorts, but winter jacket and winter boots. I wanted to make a foot massage, leg showing video, but it's just too cold right now. It's chilly. I don't know, it's like feels like 65 degrees. It's not warm enough to take my boots off and the jacket. So this is a nice big jacket. This keeps me warm. I was almost gonna make the video inside with the heater on, but I decided no, I have winter gear. Might just as well wear that in the summertime if I'm getting cold. So I saw the rat again today while I was talking, while the sun was still here in this area on this patio, and Paul was sitting in front of me under the apple tree, and even though Paul was talking loud because he's hard at hearing, the rat came right behind him towards an apple. But then I said, "Oh, I see the rat." Paul turned around and the rat ran very quickly. The rat's very afraid of Paul. So then I spilled some peanuts in the living room. Paul got mad at me. "You have to pick that up." I said, "No, I can't pick that up. My head will brush under the table and I have OCD with that. You're gonna have to bend very far down," and he doesn't like to do this, and he's gonna have to pick it up. But I picked one peanut up from the floor and I set it on top on top of that apple where the rat had already chewed from. So it kind of has, because the rat chewed on that apple, it has like some kind of mold in there, and I put the peanut right on top of that, and I see the peanut still there. The rat has not come to get it. So I see now the rat is eating from several other apples at the same time. So the rat doesn't go like, "Oh, let me just finish off this one apple and then I'll go to the next." No, the rat, wherever he is, he will climb on those branches and he will bite into a new apple. And Paul went like, "The rat is eating all of our apples. We need to pick them now before the rat gets them all." And then Paul was like wondering how much the rat can actually eat, because the rat seems to be eating these apples very, very quickly. And I watched the rat eating the apple, and the rat was eating very fast, chewing very, very fast, like crunch, 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 crunch. And then eating very fast and picking up the crumbs with the hands and going back for more, and that went on for a very, very long time. So the belly must be full of apples. Those are so incredibly enchanting and cute. So yeah, I want to make another meditation video because I thought that was it's just not enough time, an hour, to put all those things in it, and I think there would be never enough time to put all the thoughts into it. So I make part 2. I might make part 3, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We're gonna go on the vacation in a couple of days. We're gonna be gone for about a month or something, and I won't be able to make very long videos. Maybe I will make some 10-minute videos of a hot spring or a forest or animals out there in the desert. I might be able to do this. Maybe I will film the horse in the desert again So we're gonna bring her apples. She's gonna be happy about that. I hope she's doing okay. And I want to knock on their door, and I want to say, here's a coffee, Maxwell, whatever, coffee can, instant coffee or whatever he had. And I want to talk to you about the horse. So maybe the coffee will help with that. I don't know. But I wanted to do that the last time we were there, but he was afraid of the virus. Now he has the booster shot, he has the immunization. He thinks he got the Delta virus in the beginning. I gave him rhododendron tea and it healed right up. But he still doesn't want to credit the rhododendron tea fully. He thinks it's because of the vaccines, so that's his belief, Even though he's an atheist, he's extremely indoctrinated by the medical industry. It's sad. It makes me sad because I know, it's obvious. It was even on the news that people have died, even though they had the vaccines and the booster shots. So what good does it do? That's really a legitimate question to ask. So I'm not going to get any of that poisonous stuff. I drink my herbal teas, and they work extremely well. They work so well you have no idea how well they work. But they would never say that. Nobody would dare to write this. And if they dared to write it, they would get under unbelievable fire from the pharma industry. They would get bombarded. Even I was like a handful of viewers on my videos. I got viciously attacked before by pharma people and by medical doctors. And so one of them claimed to be from England, but you never know who these people actually are. They may not even be medical doctors. Maybe they are. Of course, they are always most of them are on the side of the pharma industry, but that one guy, he attacked me so viciously, I thought maybe he works for the pharma industry. And I met that person under the Johnson & Johnson video. And then, guess what? Johnson & Johnson kicked me out, not him. Yeah, that's how it goes, Just, pay more attention to those kind of things. See who gets banned, who gets censored. Then you know what's going on. That's pretty obvious. But anyway, there are just endless subjects on what needs to be reformed. But if I want to help change the world, make the world better, I have to start with myself, of course. I am walking my talk. I do what I can to not overconsume and to not buy toxic chemicals, not buy toxic makeup. I make my own makeup, with clays and stuff and with natural pigments. And right now I'm not wearing any makeup. I usually don't wear any makeup. Once in a while, if I feel extra happy or something, or I want to reel someone in, maybe I will put some of my self-made makeup on. I usually don't see the point in doing and putting it on. But I made myself blush and lip balms with red kaolin clay, and they look really nice. I don't like really bright colors on my face. I'm a nature person. I'm not into flashy kind of stuff. I mean, might be fun to dress up for Halloween like that, or, dress up like Marilyn Monroe for Halloween. That would be fun. A chubby Marilyn Monroe. with the extra cushions on all sides, so that might work, or dress up as Elizabeth Taylor, so I look a bit more in the face like Elizabeth Taylor, and certainly on the body, and then I would put a whole bunch of flashy makeup on, but only from Dr. Hauschka and no other company, because they're natural and they don't test on animals. So they only use natural charcoals and clays and plant pigments and stuff like this. They have one that is made from crushed beetles, which I am against. So I already talked about this under their videos and said no, don't use crushed beetles. I love all animals. I know people are like, yeah, that's a darn pretty crazy German there. Okay, so yes, I am crazy compassionate. Okay, that's what I am. But anyway, I don't see the point usually to put makeup on, and certainly not for psychopaths. That would never work. Okay, so all of my psychopathic haters, stay far away from me, far. Okay. And I don't know who any of these people are. They may be one person, they may be different people. I don't know. It's not up for me to figure it out. And when I talk to someone on the internet, it's not like I'm just addressing this to this one person, to the main bully, to the main troll, to the loudest mouse. So yes, I'm addressing it to him, but I'm also addressing it to all the other people at the same time, because they all suffer in very similar ways, particularly the men out there, particularly men who are straight and men who are identified with weightlifting and guns and all of that kind of stuff. So they can all relate to you, the main bully. And this is addressed to all of you, okay? So that's why I went on the Rollo Tomasi page on YouTube, and I talked to people there. Not all of the men in there were extreme, incel, aggressive psychopaths. A lot of them were, and yes, they attacked me, and I just gave facts. It's facts. I'm not attacking back. I'm not a militant feminist, but I give facts, okay? And facts is what people need. And facts are what are being withheld from the public by the pharma industry, by the oil industry. You think they don't play with your identifications? They use your identifications. They study all of your demographics, okay? They know exactly, those people feel like that, those people feel like that, those people feel like this, those people are afraid of being labeled racist, those people are afraid of being labeled gay, those people are afraid of looking like this or that, or bad or weak or whatever. So they know, they study you in depth, trust me. I study people too, but in a well-meaning, in a compassionate way. I want to help. So that's why I study psychology. I remember back at the university, I was talking to different people in Berlin and London at the other place. So I was talking to people, and a bunch of people were studying psychology for the wrong reasons. A bunch of them wanted to become market psychologists. Like, wow, so you are studying psychology to exploit people. I get it. So I study psychology to help. That's my mission in my life. But the human animal is a greedy ape, and they cannot see in a visionary way far into the distance. They can only see, I was told this or that, so now I need to, or society tells me this or that, and I have to be respected, and then I have to just do this because even though I don't like it. And that's how it goes with most people. Okay, that's why I'm bringing facts into it, and I remind people to calm down and look at it from farther away, from the sky perspective, and look into themselves. So, as Socrates said, know thyself. Look into yourself. Know yourself. Know your needs and what feels good to you, not from the ego. Okay, the ego is very misleading with this. The ego is narcissistic repair. The ego is stepping on others. The ego is always interested in himself. So making a video, and so the ego is only in this frenzy mode. You need to calm that down. The ego has to go to rest and has to go into sleep mode or whatever. Hopefully the ego can fall asleep and can be recycled into the whole of knowledge, and then you don't have to use this psychological defense mechanism anymore, or all of this repair mechanism, all of these thoughts that are circulating in your mind on how to fix your self-esteem or your prestige or whatever, or your standing in society. That goes far, far into all kinds of governmental, corporate, all kinds of institutions, this kind of stuff. So far that people, they can't see anymore. They can't see the things for what they are anymore. They're so immersed in this, everyone is doing it, and they don't question it because of that. Unbelievable things are happening in all kinds of institutions, cruelty, and people don't question it because their egos are in such a frenzy over their own prestige and their standing in that society, or their jobs that they want to cling to. They have lost touch with their own bodies, with their own minds, with what feels good and what feels bad. Some people don't even feel it anymore, what feels bad and what feels good. They're so immersed in this mass psychology, in this, like a football stadium, literally. This is where it's happening. There's wars going on, one side against the other, and I guess people that, I don't know, they want this, they want division, they want to be part of this or that. They feel like they couldn't, they needed like a crutch, sort of, like an exoskeleton or something. No, you don't. You can stand on your own feet as you regardless of your skin color or your the demographic you come from, okay? What your parents told you, what your friends are thinking, what they are doing. Stand alone and question all of this. That's really the first step. A lot of stuff will come up. Not only shit from others will come up, you bet. But that's a test. You need to completely stand against this, the bullying and the peer pressure and all of that. Stand against that. Not in a violent way. If they get violent, you have to close the door. You have to leave them outside. Walk away from those that are violent. Don't cater to that. Don't reward people for violence. That's what Governor Newsom is doing. Okay? He's rewarding people for violent acts. And then it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know where this is going to end. This might not end very well. Okay? But almost nobody questions that. People don't look at it. They don't see the warning signs and all of this. But really, these kind of things start with your life. It's your own life. It starts with me. You know? I can't be violent anymore. I get mad sometimes. But don't take that literally, when I say sometimes I want to punch this or that person, I'm not going to do it unless I'm being attacked physically. Oh, then I'll punch the shit out of him. Okay. But I mean, I'm a fighter. I fight to the bone if I'm being physically attacked. Okay. Or I will, if I have enough time before that happens, I pull my gun out. And Paul has 2 guns also. So, but if I'm not physically attacked, I'm not gonna attack anyone physically. I'm not gonna be violent. I'm not gonna throw something at someone. I'm not gonna also attack anyone emotionally. I will never attack anyone emotionally, in any way, mentally, whatever. Psychically, I would never do a love spell on someone, for example. No, if I like someone, that person is free to choose who he wants. If he likes me back, good. If he doesn't, okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. There are 8 billion humans. You'll find your match somewhere. You will, and locally. I mean it. You have your match already lined up locally. You just don't even know. Look, but you have to work on yourself first in order to. You have to go into your own mind in order to even see that other person. See the lovingness, the loveliness of that other person. And most people, they can't see the loveliness in someone else because they look through the glasses of prestige, society, peer pressure, whatever social media have told you who is hot and who is not hot. Okay. We're being dictated to on a daily basis on what is sexy and what is not. Okay. So your body is telling you who you find sexy, and that's pretty undeniable, right? I mean, you look at a woman on the internet and you know what's happening with I'm talking to the men in particular. You know what's going on. With men it is super obvious, right? For us women, we might get aroused and we're not even that aware. They did tests in laboratories with women on that. So they measured all of those things. And the women didn't even realize they were actually aroused by something. That they thought they were appalled, but they were actually aroused. So. But with men, it's obvious, because of their physique. So what's happening? And but a lot of them, they want to deny it, they want to go into denial about it, or they hate themselves for that. Why he will think, why did he feel this physically when he is opposed to that type of woman mentally? So, or men who like men and they don't want to admit it to themselves, right? But their bodies don't lie. So you need to listen to your body, to your biology, okay? And stop making fun of gay people or trans people. So a lot of you on the internet are trans actually and are gay, at least bisexual. A lot of you, not all, of course. I know, I can tell almost which ones are fully straight and which ones are gay. I would never make fun of you for that, but I see you making fun of the very ones that have that what you have. Okay? That's very often the case. People that hate something in themselves and want to deny it, then they go for the person who doesn't deny it and who has the same thing, okay, whatever that may be. Yeah. So that's what's going on. And I see there are a lot of men who are attracted to Hypatia, okay, but they don't want to admit that to themselves even, So, but I can see Hypatia likes it, and I call him he because he is a man, obviously. So, but if he wants to be called she, then I will say she. It's difficult for me to get used to this, but because I've talked to him, and that's not a woman. Also, not the way he talks. That's not a woman, of course. That's not a gentle, straight woman, of course. So women are much milder and much nicer and more compassionate. That's just our nature. So, but he's funny, and there's a bunch of trans kind of guys on the internet like Jeffree Star and others that they have a big sense of humor. So stop bullying these people. It's not their fault that they are like this. A lot of you who bully them have the same thing going, but you suppress it in yourself. So really, whoever you are, whatever your orientation is, whoever you love, whoever you are turned on by, it could be, you could be some snobbish kind of CEO guy who only goes for photo models, like my brother, but secretly turned on by some trailer mama, So, and I talk to people, that's how I know. They admitted it to me. And I'm not laughing about them. I think it's sad when people are in self-denial about something. So that's what the inwardness meditation process is really about. Or for us women, a lot of women are anorexic. Just saw another anorexic woman from Australia just in an interview or conversation with Louis House. And I think it's so incredibly sad for me to see. She thinks, and I see right through everything she says and does. She thinks she's already like top-notch, cutting-edge, whatever, like anorexic, like starved, malnourished. That's not sexual. That's not sexy. No. She completely lost touch with her biology because social media drill into her that she has to be this anorexic model with the collarbone sticking out and her ribs showing. It goes so far that she denies her own biology. Those people get sick physically because of the anorexia. This is a warning. A warning. There was a woman living in the house, one house over on that side, who died. She starved herself to death. And someone else, some other neighbor told me that. I have seen that girl one time. A real mentally ill, withdrawn girl. And I thought, that's infinitely sad. And then I saw her father, we were doing petitioning. I saw her father briefly in regards to that petition from door to door, and then I just put the puzzle pieces together. With that kind of father, that regimented way of thinking and prestige and religious and all of that, completely insane person, completely fragmented. How can he be there for his daughter? How can he love his children like that? So a lot of kids then fall prey to peer pressure, society, social media pressure, and so on. It's infinitely sad. And that's why I make these videos, because I care. And I want to help you. I want to shake you up. All of you, girls and boys and men and women. I want to shake you up. I want to tell you, don't do that to yourself. Don't let society bully you into something you're not, okay? Be you. Come back to you. Who you actually are. I tell you, it's liberating. It's liberating to not worry about what some psychopath thinks about you, or some hater or troll, or some neurotic person. I feel for all of them, but I'm not gonna let some ego of someone else tell me, or my own ego tell me how to live my life, right? I live my life according to compassion and love, okay? And nothing else. Nothing else. And that feels good, that feels right and good, and it feels empowering and feels liberating, okay? I know what it's like. I know how it feels, when we feel awkward, we might feel ugly, we feel insecure about how we appear to the frumpy chin and all of this. And then I stand in front of the mirror and I go like, yeah, what if we can do some snipping away and tucking and nip tuck? And then I go, no, Nicola, that's not who you are, okay? That's not. Who's your role model, Nicola? Vivienne Westwood is, okay? She never snipped anything off her face, okay? So that's my role model, and she's the role model for the whole world. I'm not gonna let the psychopaths bully me into feeling ugly and old. I'm not gonna, no matter how much they will try. So, or unfeminine or whatever, bullying me and bullying me and bullying me and bullying me and bullying me, and making me infinitely sad and crying and all of this. They're not coming from wholesomeness. They're not coming from a wholesome oneness feeling inside of themselves. They're coming from being fragmented. Those people are broken. They are broken into pieces and fragments by their childhood. by society. It is absolutely abhorrent what's happening. And there are market psychologists that are deliberately breaking people in order to get them to go under the knife. And that's a $1 trillion industry. Plastic surgery, trust me, and it's gruesome. I have seen some, they had some documentary films on that, and even TV series, and they showed these horrible surgeries. I mean, that's worse than any horror movie. I mean, it really is worse. And that's like the kind of stuff that I dream about sometimes at night. That corpse under the bridge, bloated and beaten. That was a whole film, basically, that horror movie that I had. I can't write all of this in the chat room. I can basically only say it in one sentence, to just bring it to one statement. But it was really a real long nightmare, that thing. And that had to do with our activism. We were doing Dune Watch activism, actual field work for 8 months, and we were monitoring that bird sanctuary and that beach that was supposed to be off limits for motorized vehicles. And then every day there'll be someone coming with their 4-wheel drive old truck or with their ATVs and so on, and running over these endangered plants that are growing out there in those dunes. There are plants that are absolutely at the brink of extinction. And birds, egrets and other birds that are there, snowy plovers, and that are living on that very shore. And then people go there, they're completely ignorant on biology, and they just run over birds, they run over the dunes and so on. So we protected that area, and we made reports, actual police reports. Paul knew how to do it, and we submitted that to the local stewardship group, and we got them a $50,000 grant, and they got a match grant even. We didn't get anything for it, but we did this as volunteers because we cared. We care about that. But the grant writer is a different story. I'm not going to get into that now, but it was right around that time, like right before we quit doing this after 8 months, when I started to have real bad nightmares of being beaten and killed, because there were people that were supposed to be on our side. Like there were some park rangers that were supposed to be on our side to protect that area, but no, what they do, they snitch on us. They go like pointing the finger. They told me, these people there, they told me that you came here, and most of those people, they're friends with each other, they already know each other, and then we come there and like, they did it, they reported you, and then they go drive by us honking their horns real loud, real aggressive, showing finger and so on. And that went on for a while. We saw, obviously, we were there with our vehicle. They saw our license plate too. They can track us down. And they have done these kind of things to environmentalists. They have exposed environmentalists, in the local newspaper even. Here's the address, and this is the house. They would actually show a photo, and the local newspaper would actually show that. endangering these people that are trying to protect the ecosystem. So, but this is going on around the whole world and worse. And that's why I started to have these nightmares, and we had to just quit that job. Could not do it anymore. Impossible. And then this not one nightmare was absolutely so obnoxious. I can't even describe that really with words. How abhorrent it really is. Sometimes a nightmare appears to you while you're dreaming it. So incredibly awful. But then it's kind of hard to even put this into words later on. But that's what's going on. Okay, so in my nightmares, they're part of my psychic intuition, and I listen to that. I listen into myself, into my mind, and into my whole body. I pamper myself. I give myself what my body needs. Okay, at all times, and that's very, very important to do, and not to overdo something, like with the activism where you put yourself at danger, or where you start to get nervous breakdowns, or maybe even talking to someone who you want to help, maybe in a suicide prevention group, and maybe that person is, I'm just hypothetically saying this, I haven't met one yet, but maybe that person is dragging you down psychologically, and a lot of people that have been working in those kind of areas and trying to help people, it's very exhausting, and at some point they're gonna have to quit or take a break. You can't just continue to be constantly helping and giving and not only not get anything back. That's the least of my concern, because I give because I care. It would make me feel good if I see some results from that. That would give me the feedback that I need to know, oh, I'm on the right track. I was helping this or that person. But that happens too, in very subtle ways. I get a feedback. I don't even get much of a thank you from people, but I might get a feedback in terms of, yeah, she's feeling better the next day, or he got a job promotion, or whatever, those kind of things where I actually touch people's lives, and that makes me feel better. That makes me feel like I helped that person. The animals, the cat thanks me, thanks us for the food we give her. So, or the rat, for example, the rat comes over when I stand there, and the rat shows me that he appreciates me standing there. So he's not afraid, he eats while I'm right next to him, 2 feet away. That is the feedback for me. That makes me feel loved and appreciated, and I need that also very much. But a lot of people, when they do something to help someone, they get their teeth kicked down their throat. That's an old saying here that Paul always used. And that's when it gets, psychologically. That's when people are, when they not only get no thanks, but they don't get any gratitude from people. They also get severely bullied, and maybe some people might even get killed. And there were people, and there were 2 white women helping Black Lives Matter people, so helping them. 4444, thank you, Blue God. And the one guy who was hired as one of the managers for Black Lives Matter. I forgot now where it was, somewhere at the East Coast. So he goes home with these two women. They cooked for him. He raped them and murdered them. Okay. That was his response to them helping him. It goes to that point. And it's infinitely sad. Infinitely sad. All of that. Or, there are missionaries that go to Africa or other third world countries to, they're usually, what they're doing is they're preaching their religion, which is very neurotic. But some of them are helping in soup kitchens. Some of them are helping them. There are doctors without borders. They go to third world countries, right, to help. What happens is they get killed, they get beaten for the help that they have given. And this just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So one has to also be very careful, and we have to pay attention to our own needs and we have to be good to ourselves. Okay? We have to protect ourselves. And we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to set boundaries. Very important. You can't just give and give and give and give, because that's not going to help the other person, particularly not giving and feeding and money and all of that. Yeah. That is also what Jesus Christ actually has said, that just giving and giving and giving is not going to teach someone to be on their own feet. Okay? You have to also be strict, and you have to show boundaries, and you have to set someone on their own feet so that they can fend for themselves, that they can make something in their own lives. Tony Robbins talks about that. Louis House talks about this. It's this is a very clear message. And I'm trying to get people on their own feet psychologically. I'm trying to give people the tools that they need to go into a meditation and breathe and look into their own needs. What do you need? Okay? And what is peer pressure? Throw the peer pressure out. Throw the people out of your life who are not supporting you get well. So the ones that are not supporting you on your wellness path, throw them out of your life. Those are not helpful people. Stick with those people that are on a holistic healing path, that have advice for you. Okay? Not advice in terms of one person tells someone else how to live their life. No, advice as a present. Take it or leave it. This is a present for you. You don't have to take it. But I give you that present. And it's an invitation, as Adyashanti always said. It's an invitation for healing. And the people who are on the healing path are offering that to the world. And there's a number of people out there. A number of people. I can recollect a bunch and put them under this video. Okay? So, you guys take care.